divided nation, and people are going to agree with you and disagree with you, and I knew that you knew that going in. And looking back, people aren't going to remember the jokes you told here, no offense, but they will remember the bravery that you stood up for your little guy. And
David Muir, a familiar face on ABC World News, has officially left the network. Muir's departure has left many people surprised and wondering why. What would ABC be like without him? Stay tuned, we will soon have the answers to these changes. When David Muir first started working for ABC News in August 2003, nobody could have foreseen the extraordinary adventure that he would go on. He'd be taking up the role of anchor for ABC's late-night news show, World News Now. He spent a few years honing his abilities at WCVB, an ABC-owned station, where he learned to manage the strain of fast-paced news reporting. That was only the beginning of a career that would span decades and make him one of the most trusted faces in American journalism. Muir was always busy at ABC. He was more than just World News Now's anchor. The early morning newscast was also given to him. Global Updates, starting the day people at ABC, quickly saw Muir's brilliance and commitment. David Muir's startling decision to leave ABC News has left audiences everywhere reeling. What could motivate one of the most revered figures in journalism to resign? Where does he go from here? Is this a new beginning or the final chapter of a long story? By June 2007, you will be astounded by what Muir discloses about his future, so we hope you'll stay around until the end to find out all the answers. He has been steadily climbing the ranks at the network, and by Saturday he was hosting World News. More and more people began to tune in to hear Muir on weekends because of his ability to convey the news clearly and compassionately. Have you ever felt as though a TV character was speaking directly to you while you were watching their show? That was and remains the enchantment of Muir. This upcoming celebrity has already been a fixture on weekend newscasts by 2012, which were even repackaged as World News with David Muir. Having your name on the show is like very big, you know? It's under his direction that you've been able to achieve success. Ratings had a significant upturn, adding to his already significant role at ABC News. In spite of this, Muir's meteoric rise was marked by excellence in more than just anchoring. Additionally, he covered some of the most significant local and international news stories of the day. He witnessed the Iraq War firsthand, was a witness to the impeachment trial of President Clinton, and even covered the excruciating Florida's 2000 presidential campaign. If you mention any big event that happened in the early 2000s, Muir was probably there. That speaks to his breadth of professional experience, doesn't it? He is now the experienced journalist we know and trust, having grown through all of these jobs into someone who can gracefully and professionally cover even the most delicate and complicated subjects. When June 27, 2014 rolled around, ABC made a huge announcement that Muir would be taking over for Diane Sawyer as the host and editor of ABC World News. After that, 2014 was a watershed moment for Muir. Very few people get the opportunity to play this character. Put it in your mind, he had taken the place of a legendary character in American television news, and he was doing it with great honor. Discuss the topic of pressure. Yet Muir proved himself prepared for the task at hand when he made his debut broadcast on September 1, 2014. After a long hiatus, World News Tonight with David Muir finally surpassed all other evening newscasts in national viewership in April 2015. What must that have been like for him? At the same time that he was engaging with viewers, Muir was simultaneously creating history, and by September 2017, the momentum had continued. Breaking a 21-year trend, World News Tonight became the most viewed nightly newscast since Peter Jennings' days. That was quite an accomplishment during Muir's tenure as leader. Who among us doesn't enjoy a good comeback story? The show has maintained its dominance after all. How, therefore, does David Muir manage to capture an audience like this time after time? Maybe it's the way he puts you at ease and gives you the impression that you're talking to a friend while you hear the information, or it may be both. In any case, it's working. Muir is still widely considered to be one of the most authoritative voices in television news, and let's face it, when you're this good for so long, people take notice. One can't help but worry about David Muir's plans. Paul Muir, a prominent American news figure, has just made an unexpected move. having presided over ABC's premier news show for many years. He has chosen to withdraw. Why, though, would he resign from such an esteemed position? You won't believe what's in store for him after this, and the reasons for it are even more astonishing. Until the very end, we will keep you in the dark about David Muir's surprise departure and his possible next major move. Make sure you don't miss Muir's effect on ABC's popularity and standing in the industry. While at ABC, David Muir has had an extraordinary impact, reshaping the network's ratings and solidifying its position in the world of broadcast journalism. As a news anchor, he manages to keep people's attention, which is no small feat in the modern media landscape and among people of his generation who have short attention spans. The program hasn't only thrived under his direction, it has soared to new heights. Performing better than its rivals year after year from 2023 through 2024, Global Updates, the show attracted an unprecedented 7.17 million viewers on average tonight. And this isn't an isolated incident either. Thanks to Muir, ABC has been able to keep its #1 spot for 8 years in a row. Something completely new, never attempted in the last 28 years. He is essentially establishing new benchmarks, displaying to the world the art of maintaining audience engagement on a nightly basis, and it's not limited to those ratings for the news either. On many occasions, Muir's show has been ranked first on both broadcast and cable television, not including sports or specials, of course. This was particularly true during the third quarter of 2024, when there was a lot of competition, and the program topped the charts for 3 weeks in a row. In your experience, how frequently does a news broadcast achieve such a high rating? Never before has anything like this happened. It's as if Muir has discovered the magic ingredient that keeps viewers hooked, and no one else has been able to capture it. However, the acknowledgement should not be overlooked. The recognition he has garnered is, to put it mildly, justified. No ordinary journalistic prize was bestowed upon him. The 40th Walter Cronkite Award, given annually to the best journalist, went to Muir. The honor was bestowed on it in honor of the illustrious CBS News anchor. We don't bestow this honor carelessly. It says a lot about Muir's impact on journalism and how he helped make ABC News better. If the presence of over 1,000 individuals, including prominent representatives from the media, politics, and business, at the award ceremony in early 2024 wasn't enough to proclaim his status in the industry, I don't know what else they could have done. $2.7 million to support journalistic programs. This goes to illustrate how seriously the business takes the responsibility of producing journalists of Muir's caliber. Presently, it is quite motivating. His talent for striking such an intimate chord with viewers is one of Muir's distinguishing features. His unique talent makes it seem as though he is communicating directly to the listener. Not only doing reports for you, is there an interview of his that you've seen? In his one-on-one interviews with the last 3 US presidents and other international leaders, he has consistently cut to the chase, simplifying difficult global issues so that everyone can comprehend. That's why viewers keep coming back for more. Through his leadership, ABC has become the go-to source for information on global conflicts, climate change, and other pressing issues. Naturally, there have been some hiccups along the way. After all, no journalism career is perfect. As an illustration, during the presidential debate in 2024, there were some rumors of bias, and a few critics attempted to stir up the pot. Despite this, Muir's reputation remained strong, and his show did not lose a beat, continuing to hold its position as the nightly news show with the highest ratings. What is the frequency with which you come across a news presenter who emerges unhurt from a controversy? This just serves to illustrate the level of trust that he has established with his viewers. They are aware that he is speaking the truth when he delivers the news. Although there was a lot of commotion surrounding him, it cannot be denied that Muir had a significant impact on ABC. Thanks to him, World News Tonight continues to dominate the ratings. And ABC's reputation as a reliable source of news has only been strengthened as a result of this. He is not just increasing the number of viewers, he is also establishing something lot more long-lasting, such as credibility, trust, and a relationship with millions of people who rely on him to keep them informed and provide them with information. The American Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, will continue to be at the forefront of broadcast journalism for as long as it is in control. It is therefore a question as to who else could do what Muir is doing, because it appears that no one is even close to achieving it. The stunning news that Muir would be leaving the company as well. The revelation that David Muir will be leaving ABC has put fans as well as industry insiders in a state of astonishment. What precisely took place? This is the question that everyone is asking, even though the specifics of his departure are still not quite apparent. Unquestionably, the influence has been of a considerable kind. When Muir's recognizable visage was visibly gone from the anchor desk during World News Tonight, it was the moment when everything first started to happen. At that moment, fans instantly started expressing their worries, asking where their reliable newsman had disappeared. How would you feel if you listened to the same voice every night and then all of a sudden there was nothing? It is no surprise that individuals were shaken. The ratings for his show, World News Tonight, have been consistently at the top for 8 consecutive seasons, which is especially impressive when given his enormous success at ABC. After 8 seasons, its opponents are having a difficult time keeping up with it. This is a significant accomplishment, and Muir had a significant part in making it the nightly broadcast that received the most viewers throughout the nation. So why should you quit at this time? The decision was made for what reason? It is a question that is on everyone's mind, since it is inevitable that eyebrows will be raised whenever someone with Muir's significant influence goes away. Because he is so well known among spectators, the surprise is much more powerful. When all is said and done, why would one want to abandon something that is going well? There was a flood of responses from Muir's co-workers and admirers, and they were as diverse as they were heartfelt. One fan said what a lot of people were feeling, which was that they were wondering where you have been, and the women are doing fantastic with the news. Viewers in particular were eager to express their anguish and perplexity. This attitude was shared by another individual who stated, "I am so happy for you to be enjoying time in Greece. However, I like you at the counter. When I saw you on the news, I couldn't help but wonder where you were at the moment. There is no doubt in my mind that I am overjoyed for you." David Muir has established a genuine connection with his viewers, one that goes beyond simply reading the headlines. Few broadcasters today have built such a strong connection with their audiences as David Muir. The trust he built through his honest reporting of even the most serious news has earned him a loyal following. Muir's departure is deeply meaningful to many who grew accustomed to his presence every night. His colleagues at ABC have mixed feelings. They offer support but also worry. After years of service, the loss of a trusted anchor like Muir is jarring. He was a staunch defender of journalistic ethics and professionalism, and many wonder how the news world would change without him. The loss is sure to have a domino effect on ABC News. Muir's colleagues are worried about the future of the show they built. Is this a major change or a new direction for the network? As the details were released, it became clear that Muir's resignation would have far-reaching implications, not only for ABC, but also for his viewers and fans. The emotional outpouring following Muir's departure came from both colleagues and fans. Everyone seemed stunned by the news, as evidenced by posts on social media, where fans expressed concern and appreciation for his work. Many said that while other reporters were doing good work, they still enjoyed having Muir at their desks, proving that he had become an integral part of many people's nightly routines. David Muir's departure was not only a personal loss for viewers, but also a significant turning point in the history of ABC News. Another one of your fans commented, stating, "I am so happy for you to be enjoying your time in Greece. As I saw the news, I couldn't help but think about you and wonder where you were. I will tell you that I am overjoyed for you. You cannot help but imagine them heaving a sigh of relief, don't you think?" These responses are illustrative of the close relationship that Muir has developed with his audience throughout his career. Listening to the news is not the only thing to do. It is how he conducts himself with that ideal combination of genuineness and clarity that truly strikes a chord with people. As a result of the fact that he is not only a news anchor, but also a presence that people have come to rely on and trust every single night, his departure naturally feels like a significant shift for viewers who have made him a part of their daily lives. To tell you the truth, doesn't it say a lot about someone when their absence causes such a domino effect? The viewers aren't the only ones who are experiencing it. At the same time, Muir's co-workers at ABC are attempting to reconcile themselves with the news. It is common knowledge that David Muir is extremely competent and committed, qualities that have garnered him a great deal of respect inside the network. However, there is also a sense of unease. David Muir's departure has many wondering about the future of international news on ABC News and the upheaval the network will experience without him. Muir has had a huge impact not only on television but also on how people consume information. Muir has yet to give a clear reason for his decision to leave ABC, leaving fans and the journalism community to speculate about his future and the network. There has been much speculation about why he is leaving his primetime news anchor role, and the story will certainly spread, especially with a celebrity like Muir. Some have suggested that he may be looking for new challenges in his career. There is also the possibility that Muir is considering opportunities in other media platforms. As the journalism industry is changing with the rise of podcasts and digital news, there are new ways to tell stories and engage with audiences. Could Muir be exploring a new approach to connecting with his audience? He may be looking for creative opportunities in how he delivers information, especially since he's always been good at adapting to changing news. The question is whether Muir is preparing to make a bold move into these new platforms and whether he can create articles or content in a completely different way, opening up a new direction for his career in the future. Some intriguing rumors are circulating about internal issues at ABC, particularly potential conflict between David Muir and George Stephanopoulos. Some sources have suggested that there is a rivalry between the two for the top anchor position in the network. This is not unusual in a workplace where power struggles are common, especially when two high-profile figures like Muir and Stephanopoulos are present. However, it is important to note that all of this information has not been verified and is largely based on speculation at this point. Whatever the reason for Muir's departure, one thing is certain: his departure will cause major disruption to ABC's fortunes. If these rumors are true, they will make for an interesting story. Muir has become a major player at ABC, drawing huge audiences and even surpassing NBC's Lester Holt, which is no small feat. Whoever steps into his shoes will face a formidable challenge. Meanwhile, everyone is watching closely to see what Muir's next move will be. Will he return to being a field reporter or find a new approach to the media? His journey is not over, and there are still many surprises to come. David Muir created a stir in the media industry when he stepped down, and the attention around him is growing. He is one of the most prominent figures in journalism, and many are wondering what his next move will be. Will he pursue a more traditional path or choose a more creative solution? It is time for people to wonder where a figure of Muir's stature will go next. There is a possibility that he may join a competing network, which is one of the options that has been discussed. Can you even fathom the possibility of Muir being on another big channel? As a result of his enormous success at ABC, which included routinely outperforming Lester Holt in the ratings at NBC, when it comes to having him, it is not hard to understand why rival networks would be vying for his services. His capacity to convey information in a manner that is both compassionate and authoritative has established him as a person that millions of people can rely on. Wouldn't it be a stroke of luck for any news organization to be able to secure someone with that level of skill and connection to the audience? It is not difficult to imagine the types of major offers that Muir might receive if he made the decision to leave his current position. There is little doubt that networks would be eager to capitalize on his fame, and it is quite probable that they would throw money, resources, and even complete creative control at him to have him as their new leading man. On the other hand, what if Muir does not follow the conventional path at all? What happens if he decides to go it alone? The establishment of his own media organization could be the step that enables him to radically transform how news is reported. Over the past several years, we have witnessed other prominent journalists embarking on their independent careers by utilizing their own identities to establish independent platforms that are tailored to the specific needs of their audience. Why couldn't Muir do the same? Imagine for a moment that he had complete authority over the stories. Free from the constraints of network politics, he recounts the story. He can investigate more profound and inventive methods of disseminating news, maybe even establishing a new standard for the whole sector. There is a transition occurring in the media business, and people no longer require large networks to reach vast audiences. Is it possible that this is the ideal time for him to venture out on his own and create something completely different? Because of his extensive expertise, reputation, and capacity to adjust to shifting circumstances, to assert that he is capable of doing so would not be an overstatement. Taking everything into consideration, it may be the type of game changer that the industry has not seen in a very long time. Whatever decision David Muir makes, whether it is to become a member of another network or to go out on his own, one thing is clear. His next move, whatever it may be, is sure to cause a stir throughout the world. Whether we are prepared for it is the real question. Without question, David Muir is currently at an intriguing phase of his professional life, one in which the digital world presents him with a whole new playground to investigate. Due to the fact that everything is migrating towards mobile applications and web platforms, Muir may decide to venture into the realm of content creation for streaming platforms. Beginning his podcast, or maybe establishing a news outlet, are both possibilities. That is completely in line with what contemporary viewers are looking for. At the end of the day, haven't we all realized that the way we take in news has changed in recent times? Enjoying the experience of scrolling through updates while viewing brief videos or listening to a brief podcast. At this point, it is all a part of our everyday routines, and would you believe that Muir is not unfamiliar with this shift? Although Muir was working for ABC, he was already ahead of the curve. He was able to broaden his audience beyond the scope of the nightly news by embracing digital media and making use of platforms such as Twitter and Instagram. It was clear from his articles, video, and real-time updates that he was aware of the direction in which the audience was traveling, and he moved in the same direction as they did. This digitally aware side of Muir has the potential to open up a wide variety of opportunities if he immerses himself more fully in the world of the internet. Upon further consideration, we will conclude that he is capable of producing material that not only educates viewers, but also directly engages them through the utilization of real-time feedback. To harness the potential of rapid engagement, interactive components and data-driven tactics are essential. It is difficult to ignore. As we move on, let us consider still another idea. What if Muir made the decision to strike out on his own? In this day and age, it is not unusual to find top-tier journalists venturing out on their own and becoming influential media entrepreneurs. It is reasonable to assume that the concept of being liberated from the conventional limitations of broadcast television would be enticing. He was able to provide the news in a format that was more dynamic and flexible, according to the specific requirements of the audience. The live streaming of podcasts, direct engagement with the group of supporters and admirers. We are playing a new game, but it is one in which Muir has the potential to completely succeed. Muir's next move may be a game changer, regardless of whether he continues to work within a network or goes out on his own. The choices he has made in his professional life may encourage others in the news industry to reconsider what is feasible. When all is said and done, if someone like David Muir is able to enter a new sector and be successful, then what stands in the way of other people doing the same thing? It is intriguing to consider the potential effects that his decisions may have on the whole business, for the purpose of providing insights into the future of narrative and journalism. In the future, ABC World News will be, tonight audiences have been left in a state of shock as a result of David Muir's abrupt departure from ABC, and the future of ABC World News tonight is now in a precarious balance. The leadership that Muir provided was not just successful. As a result, the show became the evening newscast that received the most viewers in the United States. And what happens after that? Will the show be able to continue to hold its place as the most prominent nightly news program, or will the subsequent host be forced to take on the unachievable goal of replacing Muir's shoes? It is a question that virtually everyone, from the most devoted viewers to the highest-ranking officials at ABC, is probably thinking about. Although ABC News has not yet made any formal statements, there is little question that the process of finding someone to take Muir's position is a serious and highly strategic one. Finding someone to sit behind the desk is not the only thing that has to be done. Maintaining the heritage of a show that millions of people rely on for their daily news and entertainment is the focus of our endeavor. Let's not mince words. Regardless of who decides to take on the position, there are extremely high expectations that will need to be met. One of the names that has been mentioned is Lindsay Davis, who, together with Muir, served as a co-moderator for the presidential debate in 2024. Not only does she possess expertise and composure, but she also already has a great relationship with the audience of ABC. Is it feasible that she will be the one to carry the flame forward? Or is it also possible that ABC will go for everything but the kitchen sink? When there is a person from outside the network who can offer a new and exciting energy to the table, there is always the possibility of somebody with a fresh face and a new point of view may be just what the program needs to maintain its edge. There is also the matter of what the program will look like in the future, which is of course a concern. The ABC, the latest world news, for many years, Tonight has been dedicated to providing the most important news. Yet now that Muir is no longer here, will the format change? In the event that the performance had a slight transformation, it would not be too unusual. Perhaps the new anchor will take a different approach to narrating stories, or perhaps they will find methods to engage viewers in various ways. It is something that we have never seen before. Would it be possible for them to incorporate more interactive features or acknowledge the digital age by incorporating portions that are geared toward capturing the attention of younger viewers? As they scroll through their phones, only time will tell, but one thing is certain: ABC World News Tonight is going to undergo significant adjustments. Whether the alterations will be an improvement or worse in quality, the answer to this question will depend on who comes forward to fill the massive hole that Muir leaves behind. One of the most significant difficulties that ABC News will confront now that David Muir is leaving down is remember that there is the pressure of maintaining a show that was frequently the most watched single program across all of American television. For the 2023 to 2024 season alone, World News Tonight averaged a whopping 7.72 million viewers. There is also the pressure of maintaining the strong viewership numbers that World News Tonight was able to pull off under his leadership. But there is a catch to this. Compared to the previous season, this was really a 5% decrease, and although that might sound alarming at first, let's be honest. This is a significant decline. This is not a problem that is specific to ABC. During the past several months, every major network in existence has been experiencing the pain of a decrease in audience. How come? To put it simply, it is likely because an increasing number of individuals are discontinuing their use of conventional television. Is it true that linear television no longer possesses the same appeal as it once did? Now, what steps is ABC going to take to address this issue? They cannot just relax and expect that people will flock back to their television sets. It is not as if they can do that. In fact, they have already taken a really clever move in that area by releasing entire broadcasts of World News Tonight on their YouTube page. This is one of the things that has been stated as an emphasis on strengthening their digital presence. That is a significant change, especially if they want to attract the attention of a younger audience that is more knowledgeable about technology and may not even possess a conventional television set. Although it is obvious that several shifts are on the horizon. However, ABC is not completely doomed to fail. Let us not forget that despite all of these obstacles that have been faced by the whole business, and even after receiving criticism for suspected bias during the presidential debate in 2024, World News Tonight has managed to maintain its position as the most popular nightly newscast on broadcast television. And not only does that tell you something about the show's resiliency, but it also informs you it is possible that the trust it has established with its audience, in conjunction with a viewer base that is quite loyal, will be of great assistance to it throughout this challenging transition phase. Even though the media environment is always moving, ABC World News Tonight is going to have to do more than simply rely on what has worked in the past. They will have to find a method to continue doing what they do best. News that is both hard-hitting and vital, while also being innovative and maintaining a sense of freshness. It is a matter of whether or not they can strike a balance between change and tradition. Will they be able to adjust to how people consume news in the modern day without harming the credibility that they have worked so hard to establish over the years? Without a doubt, the departure of David Muir is likely to cause a stir in the situation. It is without a doubt the case that World News Tonight is experiencing what seems to be the conclusion of an era, but it may also be the beginning of something fresh and exciting. How will World News Tonight step into the post-Muir era? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below We would love to hear from you, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you and see you in the next